Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TCG Talk, back today with another video. And in today's video, we're going to be going over my newest Lexi deck tech, and kind of just going over where I am with the hero right now as a whole, and just kind of give you all my thoughts going into Uprising and how I'm approaching it. I'm no Yuki Lee Bender, but I enjoy the hero a lot, and I think that she is super fun to play, and I think she's one of those heroes where, like, even though we don't know exactly where the meta is going to go, I think she's a hero that is going to be really well set for the next season, with all the new ice cards coming in, the different meta types you're going to be able to have with her. Just a really solid hero overall. So going into it, I took a little bit of inspiration from Yuki's list, kind of adding in the Bolton shots. I had red Bolton shot in my old list, and I think I had yellows on the side, but I didn't have blues, and I didn't center that game plan around like Bolton shot Rain Razors. So definitely, taking inspiration from her on her list, but then adding a little bit of a difference into it, because I wanted to make it my own. I don't like just copying lists like card for card. But I also, her lightning surges were a really good idea, and I took into those. So you'll kind of see some similarities, but also kind of how I approach the deck is differently. So getting right into it, we don't know where the meta is going to go. We do know, based off some of the reveals, that there are some really good ice cards and really good way to disrupt. Obviously, there should be a lot of good ice cards coming in Uprising, just because, this Icelander and the center of the hero and stuff like that. So you expect a lot of good disruption, a lot of good frostbite mechanic things coming in, a lot of good ways to. We already seen cards that will freeze your opponent's arsenal, so that's gonna be really good, like in the Briar matchup or in a Katsu matchup or something like that, somewhere where, or even a Rune Blade where they rely on 5-card hands. But with Starvo is gonna be gone during that meta. Chain, likely, if he even does reasonably well in the Pro Quest, is gonna be gone during that meta. So it's definitely gonna be a little bit different. We're still gonna have Prism running around. We're gonna have the new Illusionist, stuff like that. So I don't have sideboard guides specifically for each hero because it's gonna change, but I do have like 2 packages. And if you're a newer player, you could take this and run with it, and then obviously individually package it out per hero that you play against. So what you're looking at right now is the main board, right? So in the main board, I have 17 ice cards. It's a little high for the main board, like comparatively to other like top lists, but I like the fact that I can consistently fuse. I want to fuse. I want to have a little bit of disruption in all of my ice builds. So I ended up adding in the 2 amulet devices, 3 blue polar blast, 3 blue winter's bite, 3 channel like frigid, and then 6 ice quakes at blue and red. The winter's bite, polar blast, and ice quakes are kind of self-explanatory on what their purpose is, right? Winter's bite helps create discard on the opponent. Polar blast, like, it forces them to either let you have dominate and also lets you draw a card from arsenal. And then ice quakes just pump your attacks. And ice quake is one of the best cards, and I've actually contemplated putting nine ice quakes in here, because ice quake allows you to, any card that hits that turn, any attack, gives your opponent a frostbite. It's a whole turn effect. The pump is only for 1 attack, but the frostbite is whole turn effect, and it's just such a good card. If I can find room for the yellows, definitely going to put it in. But I run 17 ice cards in the main board no matter what. And then these are just 9 really good cards. Like, they're pretty obvious: Rain Razors, Art of War, and 3 of a Kind. All extremely good cards that you need to have in your deck if you're going to have like this kind of go wider, more aggressive Ice Lexi strategy. And then we come to the arrows. To the arrows. So in the main board, I have 27 arrows: 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27 arrows. These arrows will. I have split this deck into 2 packages. I've split it into like a go wide package, and I've split it into a disruption package. No matter what, these arrows I feel like can facilitate that, right? In the go wide package, you could, all your Bolton shots will work, but also in the disruption package, if you couple them with like an ice quake, and you make them discard and all this other stuff, like it works for that as well. Pathing Helix is really good because it allows you to put cards down your arsenal. That's the one actually card from Yuki's list right here that I was like, I didn't even think about, like the fact how that can synergize with Bolton shots and reload mechanic. It synergizes with Bullseye Brace. Like, it just allows you to have these stupid, crazy go wide turns, because if you give Pathing Helix go again on your second arrow attack, and or even on your first arrow attack, if they don't off of like a 3 of a kind turn, and they let it hit. Now you can load in an arrow. Maybe you have 4 arrows in hand without having to pay for it. You don't have to activate Voltaire for a second time. So like you basically just got another free attack basically. And then if you haven't, so basically allows you to put it face down, and you activate Lexi's ability to face it up, and then you activate Lexi's ability to face it up, and then you have that in our arsenal slot again. Then you activate Voltaire a second time, play out that card, then play out Pathian Helix. It's just a way to get an extra arrow to paint. Your sequencing has to be correct, but it's really good. Blizzard Bolts, I run 6 of those at yellow and red. Pretty obvious on how good those are. They just create frostbites, but they're also really good. Blizzard Bolt at red can go 1 for 6 if it's the last attack, or 1 for 5 with go again. It's technically 2 for 5 is the way you gotta look at it, because you load it in and you shoot it. Endless Arrow is a 1 for 4. If with go again, it comes right back to your hand. I love Endless Arrow. If I only have like 2 arrows in hand and I want to try to get a third attack out, like I'll put Endless Arrow out with go again. If they let it hit, like it's not a good day for them. You're just gonna keep firing it. You basically have 2 resources for 8 if they let it hit. And then Frostlock's just a really good blue. It's a block 3. It forces them not to be able to pitch or play cards with 0. It makes their cards and activated abilities cost an extra resource that turn, and it's just really good, right? Just a really good card. And then finally, Sleep Dart. A lot of the heroes that are top in the meta right now, regardless of what archetype they are, really, really want their hero ability. Prism, wants it pretty well, but it's not like a deal breaker for her. But Briar, she wants her hero ability so bad. Katsu wants his hero ability. Lexi wants her hero ability in the mirror. Even Bravo wants his hero ability, right? So there's these top decks. Chain, of course. I'm not talking about Chain a whole lot because I'm expecting him to be gone by next set. But a lot of these top decks need their hero ability, so Sleep Dart's always going to be a great arrow. So yeah, 27 arrows. So now we kind of get into like the package of cards. So we're keeping these in the main board. Also for equipment, Voltaire, obviously, Bullseye Bracers, New Horizon, Snapdragon Scalers. I run Snapdragon Scalers in the main board, and then Perch Grapplers and Shock Charmers on the side, and we'll talk about those in a minute. But so I'm going to show you now the go wide kind of aggro package. If you're not, this isn't here specific, but this is if you think the deck needs to go more wide against your opponent, like you're not worried as much as on hit effects. Maybe they have ways to play around your on hit effects, like Crown of Seeds, or like playing stuff at instant speed like Prism does. Then this kind of deck is going to be good for you. So we're taking inspiration from Yuki's list, adding lightning presses, 3 lightning presses, and then 2 lightning surges. I've always had the lightning presses in there, but the 2 lightning surges are such a good idea. It just allows you to arsenal it at the end of a turn, flip it, load in you can either just play it out after the flip and it has go again, even if you don't want to waste that go again that you just got, or you can load in Voltaire, giving it +1, and it automatically is going to have go again when you shoot that arrow. Then you shoot lightning surge to go again. Then you load in another arrow with, it's just really good. So definitely on go wide turns, like you can use lightning surge to attack like 4 times in a turn. Just really good. Lightning press is to punish them for not blocking. And then arrows, like we're going to go up to 33 arrows. I don't like to have a super tight list or super heavy list. I want to be as tight as possible in an aggro matchup or like in a go wide matchup. So I'm only running 63 cards, I believe it is in this main board. You have to double check me on that. I'm pretty sure it's 63. But yeah, so I'm going to 33 arrows. I'm adding in the Searing Shots and the Sikkim Shots. I added in Sikkim Shot because I just think it's a really good card. I personally like Sikkim Shot the best. It's similar to Lightning Surge, where Sikkim Shot is, if you can arsenal this card and play it on your next turn, it's so good because it's an automatic go again. So, you flip it, or you don't have to flip it, or you just play it, it has go again, and then you still have 2 old Voltaire activations. It's really good to make easy 3 arrow turns or 3 attack turns. I just really like it. Searing Shot's just really good because it's basically +1 damage on them if they don't block it. And it can punish them, and every point matters in like those high aggro matchups. So that's what I'm doing. So this is kind of like the go wide package. We just add in 6 arrows, and then the lightning surge and lightning presses, 17, 19. I'm counting here just to make sure I give you all the right number. 25, 28, 31, 34, 37, 36, 12, 15, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, as tight as possible. It's 62, 63 cards. That way I see my attacks quickly and I see everything in my deck as quickly as I can. I don't want to have dead and off turns, so I'm running kind of a lower list. You could, some people would say you could run out of threats, but I mean, technically counting the lightning surges, I have 35 threats in the deck. Over half of my deck is attacks, so I don't see that as being an issue. You're just really looking for those like Art of War Rain Razor turns or Art of War 3 of a kind turns, where you can really punish your opponent and attack for like 30 some damage if you do it correctly, especially with Rain Razors. If you can hit a Rain Razors turn with like Art of War and you really go wide, or Rain Razors are 3 of a kind, playing Rain Razors first, it's just really, really, really nice. So definitely something that you can do. Also, another good thing about Pathing Helix is you can use it to put any card face down in your arsenal. It doesn't have to be a arrow. So the reason this is important is, let's say, we have a 3 of a kind and we don't have Rain Razors in hand, and we play Pathing Helix and we draw into a Rain Razors. Well, obviously you want to put that down, but you can't play it from hand. Well, if you play Pathing Helix for 4 go again and they let it hit, you can put Rain Razors down your hand face up, activate Lexi, or don't activate Lexi, you don't have to, and then play Rain Razors from Arsenal, because now you're playing cards from Arsenal. So definitely a way to get maybe a card that you wanted to use, maybe an Ice Quake or a Rain Razors, or an Art of War down into your arsenal, so that way you can then play it out. So it's really useful for that. So again, the Go Wide Aggro package, adding in 6 arrows, the lightning presses, and then 2 lightning surges. So a total, of these cards. So now on the main board, we're going to have the Disruption package. So the Disruption package, we're adding in Chilling Ice Veins, right? This is pretty obvious. I've had these in my prior deck techs, and most Rangers have them. You want to run these in your Disruption package. These are really good against like a Chain, against a Briar. They're really good against, especially against a Katsu. Really good against any card, any hero that wants to keep their hand really bad or can't play off 2 and 3 card hands very well. Definitely someone you should tech this against. And then we're adding a little bit more disruption. So we're adding in 3 Winter's Bites, and then adding in a singular Icy Encounter, again, inspiration from Yuki's list. But this right here, is similar to a tight list that we had before. But this is more of a disruption package. We're not focused so much on going wide. We're focused on punishing our opponent for every single attack that they don't block. Just adding in the 4 ice cards for a little bit more disruption, but also a little bit more fuse capability. Having 21 ice cards is a lot, but it's also, I want to be able to fuse every time a Chilling Ice Vein comes up, especially, and Blizzard Bolts, I want to be able to fuse them. So that's why I'm doing it that way. So that's kind of the disruption package, and it's super simple to side in and out. Obviously, as the meta develops with kind of the changes to the meta that we're going to see, the packages will get more specific, right? Like they'll get more very in tuned based off hero, and I'll be subbing in like 1 or 2 cards, right? Not just like a whole package of cards, like make it really blanket. But if you're kind of like in between metas right now and you want to get a good idea of Lexi, I think this is a good place to start. For the sideboard equipment for Perch Grapplers and Shock Charmers, Perch Grapplers is pretty simple. I'm putting this in against any deck that I think I'm going to need a little bit extra block value on. The ability is like, if I get it, cool, but I'm not expecting it. I want this in like an Azalea for God forbid, or like on Red in the Ledger, or maybe even a Guardian where they're having a nasty on hit effect that I have to block out. Maybe Prism with Herald of Erudition, be able to use my card from hand, my Perch Grapplers to block one of her Heralds of Eruditions, just stuff like that. Anywhere where I need that extra block value, just really useful. And then Shock Charmers, I'm using this obviously for the Kano matchup, or and then eventually Icelander matchup with CC. But also, like, if there's an opponent that I really think isn't going to block a lot, maybe Fi, right? If he's a really go wide opponent, this allows me to maybe play my disruption package and then be able to really punish him if he doesn't block 1 Chilling Ice Vein. Maybe I draw into only 1 arrow that turn, and I attack with Chilling Ice Vein. He's like, I'll let it hit, because I do it like maybe +1, so 1 for 6 at red. And he says no blocks. I Shock Charmer twice, and now he has to discard 3 cards or pay 2 each time. So like, it's a way to force them to basically block. If they see that Shock Charmers, they basically know, like, if I don't block, he's going to make me discard anyway, so I might as well block. But yeah, so that's the baseline of the deck. Again, super simple, not like insane, like pre-event, like tuned, but it's definitely in a good spot. And I've been playing Lexi a lot. I'm going to put some Lexi gameplays up for you all so you all can see how it works. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the deck so far. I'll give you like the exact sideboard guide, and you can see the deck list below. I'll do it all out. I haven't actually put the deck together on FabDB because I've just been testing with it so much. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. Any seasoned Lexi players out there, please give me some pointers. I know it's not probably the most tuned list in the world, but I'm confident in the base of the list and how it functions. So, let me know what you think. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed this, and I'll see y'all next time on TC Talk. Thank y'all so much.